dark, and then it just blew out. It blew over and missed.
What's that like buzzing?
I don't know, I hear ringing in my ear.
I know.
Greetings, everyone, and
Greetings.
welcome to this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Soy Daniel Pineda. Y Craig, ¿dónde
Sí,
estabas?
Pineda,
Where
¿cómo
were you?
está?
Where
¿Cómo
were
está?
you?
A couple of weeks off.
Welcome back, Craig.
Welcome back.
Thanks,
My
you guys.
name's Adele Quo.
And here we go with another show, our last show in May. Is that right? Our
That's
last show in
right.
May 2015. Hard to believe.
Going fast.
2015 is rolling right along here. Won't be long now. We'll be talking about Christmas.
Oh my God.
Well, News and
Whoa,
Community
slow it
Bulletin
down.
Board
Yeah,
is
slow
coming
down,
up,
please.
and Adele is here with our favorite
It's
segment. It's
Easy Being
Green.
Yes, indeed it is, and we look forward to that. CBB coming up as well. News for seniors, and then Shannon Augustus is here with her guest Mary-Suzette. And that's our show. But before we begin, a social media reminder.
That's right, Mr. Nolan. You can watch the
Senor
Arlington
Pineda.
Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. And
One.
also facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. Correct.
All right, thanks, Daniel. News for seniors, glasses in place, and here we go. Our first item, well, ready or not, we're about to enter the hurricane season. According to the National Weather Service, the season runs from June 1st through November 30th of November. To help you prepare, Virginia has a couple sales tax holidays for hurricane preparedness supplies. The first of those tax holidays, declared Hurricane and Flooding Preparedness Week by Governor Terry McAuliffe, will be May 25th through the 31st, and then the second will be August 7th through the 9th. You can visit www.tax.virginia.gov for a full list of all the tax-free goods for your hurricane preparedness event. How about that? Daniel.
Well, Craig, for the 15th year in a row, all 3 credit rating agencies have reaffirmed the county's stellar debt ratings. Moody's, S&P, and Fitch all gave Arlington their highest ratings, AAA. Arlington is part of an elite group of just 39 counties countrywide to get the highest ratings from all 3 agencies. Securing those ratings is very important, and in part to make sure that Arlington has low interest rates when it sells its Series 2015 General Obligation Public Improvement and Refunding bonds on June the 1st. Voters approved the selling of these bonds to fund capital improvement projects, metro, and other commitments. Craig.
All right, Daniel, and are you ready for this one? Ready or not, here it comes. Nova Firearms has confirmed that it will open a branch in Cherrydale. The McLean-based company stated that it will open its new Arlington location this coming summer. The store will sell firearms to police departments and civilians and will offer gun safety classes. The move has caused controversy, no kidding, in the neighborhood and on community listservs. Some residents think that the store may jeopardize safety and negatively affect property values. There is even a Change.org petition against it. To learn more about the company, you can visit their website, www.novafirearms.com. That's going to be a hot topic for sure.
Yes.
Daniel.
Well, Craig, the county's volunteer program is shifting to a public-private partnership. Based on a community task force recommendation, the move is intended to better support the program's goals. The volunteer program connects individuals who want to volunteer and the county with local organizations that need volunteers. The website is volunteer.truist.com, and it facilitates some of those connections. Hundreds of residents weigh in on the decision, and county staff will investigate proposals over the summer.
All right, next up on our news items, Daniel. Well, in a split decision, the county board has voted to sell off an historic 116-year-old farmhouse. The county will retain ownership of almost 2 acres of parkland near the house where some community gardens are based. Reeves Land Learning Center runs an educational gardening program for students at the farm. It would cost about $2.5 million to continue upkeep and support for the program. The farmhouse will retain its historic status, and the new buyer has agreed to, or rather does have to agree to preserve the exterior of the building, even if it becomes a private home. The sale is part of the several budget cuts the county board has made, including privatizing the volunteer program, canceling the Columbia Pike streetcar project, and closing the Artisphere. Daniel.
Well, Craig, as part of Arlington Public Schools' More Seats for More Students facility planning program, HB Woodlawn High School is moving to a new location. This has made several students and alumni sad. One of the reasons they are making the move is that they don't want to get rid of their landmark graffiti. Since 1987, graduating seniors have imprinted everything from quotes and doodles to inside jokes and elaborate art. It covers everything from hallways to stairwells and even the cafeteria. Past and current students are considering how to preserve this cherished piece of history. You can read more about it and see pictures of the graffiti in the May-June edition of Arlington Magazine. That's at arlingtonmagazine.com. HB Woodlawn is slated to move from Vacation Lane in the Stratford building to Roslyn by fall of 2019. Correct, Norm?
Boy, they are that's quite a collection of scribblings and drawings and artwork over there at HB Woodlawn. If you haven't seen it, you should probably stop on down there sometime and take a look at all the stuff that's on the walls. It's
Pretty
amazing.
sad, yeah, that they're moving.
It's amazing, and yeah, it is. So maybe they'll figure out a way to preserve it. All right, next up on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News, our favorite segment here with Adele Quo is It's Easy
Being Green.
Well, that's a very nice
Here's Adele.
introduction. Thank you.
Been here for 2 weeks, that's why.
Exactly. Butter me up here. My name is Adele Quo. It's easy being green to learn and live about Earthship biotecture. Courtesy of Patrick McCleary, our own content coordinator here at AIM.
Go, Patrick.
He turned my attention to trash homes. So over the next few weeks, Joe Tree Frog here and myself with Easy Being Green, we're going to tour you around the world to view incredible homes built from waste materials that backs up the old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And today's story will center on maverick U.S. architect Michael Reynolds, who transforms garbage of empty beer cans, old tires, and discarded soda bottles into eco-friendly homes called Earthships. It all started back in 1972 in response to the media that we are running out of fuel and water. So he built his first house made almost entirely from trash items, old glass, beer cans, and tires. And then he added enclosed sewage, water, and heat collection systems. Reynolds now runs Earthship Biotecture, a global architectural firm focused on creating self-sustaining trash homes as the ultimate in green buildings. Reynolds' basic Earthship design incorporates substantially bermed passive solar architecture. The primary retaining walls are constructed with used tires, filled with earth stacked up like bricks. The interior surface of the tires is then plastered with adobe or cement, so the tires don't normally show. He also pioneered the use of empty aluminum cans and glass bottles mortared into lightweight, curvable walls. Earthships often employ many ecological concepts, such as water catchment from the roof, reuse of gray water, composting toilets, and indoor gardening. So the homes are off-grid. That means they are not reliant on any external electricity, gas, water, and sewer systems, and therefore there's little to no utility bills. So according to Reynolds' website, earthship.com, his trash homes are designed to meet and exceed existing building codes. Earthships can be built in any part of the world, in any climate, and Earthship designers export their sustainable building methods all over the world, adapted to local resources. They also run the Earthship Academy in Taos, New Mexico, which offers extensive training in Earthship design principles, construction methods, and philosophy. So if you're passing through Taos, it's definitely worth a visit to stop by the Earthship Visitor Center for a tour to learn more firsthand. Or, better yet, rent one of their fully furnished units for a Earthship for a night or a week to fully experience completely sustainable off-grid living. Lonely Planet named the Earthship Nightly Rentals a top 10 eco-stay in the world for 2014. So you can enjoy a green vacation without sacrificing comfort, as all the rentals come with Wi-Fi, TV, and growing food. You can connect with Earthship via texture on Facebook or check them out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/user/Earthship. And remember, it's easy being green if you learn and live the Earthship philosophy.
I like that. Earthship Academy.
Yeah.
That's
that sounds
right.
like quite a place.
I might have to sign up.
Really, be a good place to visit and learn something about
I've always
building-
wanted to visit New Mexico.
building a home out of
Tires.
old people, other people's, what is that?
Trash. Oh, one man's trash is
One
another
man's
man's
trash
treasure.
is another man's treasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. We appreciate it. Thanks, Adele,
Thank you, Adele.
for our easy being green segment. Up next now, this edition of the Arlington Weekly News is our CBB Community Bulletin Board file. And here we go. On Sunday, June 7, from 4 to 7 in the p.m., you can attend the first Bark in the Park. Clarendon Animal Care and Clarendon Alliance are sponsoring this free event for neighborhood canines and their owners or parents at James Hunter Dog Park. Highlights, besides the adorable pups, are free barbecue from Smoking Cow and live music. That sounds like a great event.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Habitat champ there.
Take him. Why not? Daniel, you're up.
Well, Craig, it's summer outdoor film fest time. You can watch movies outdoors at dusk for free at various locations around town. Be sure to bring a picnic food, a blanket, maybe, yes, even a chair, and friends or family. Some locations have games or prize giveaways before the show. Seems like that's a very exciting event, right, Mr. Nolan?
Outdoor movies. And speaking of outdoor movies, Rosalind's Movies. There you go. Thanks, F. We'll be in Gateway Park at 1300 Lee Highway every Friday night from the 5th of June through August 28th. This year's theme is LOL Fridays, quotable. It will screen some of the funniest and most quotable comedies of recent years. Films begin at about dusk, around 8:30 or 9 o'clock or so before the show. Enjoy games and prizes on June 5. You can watch Wedding Crashers starring Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. It's a comedy about a couple of womanizers who prowl wedding celebrations until one of them falls in love. Visit their website, roslynva.org/do outdoor-film-fest for more details. Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Nolan, for that summary. Womanizers, prowling
That was just
for love.
up there.
Yes, well, Crystal Screen will be at 1851 South Bell Street Courtyard on Monday starting at sundown, rain or shine. This year's theme is Spark Espionage. On June the 1st, the first movie of the season, yes, will be Mission Impossible.
All right.
Then it will be followed by Mission Impossible 2, and that's on June the 8th, and then Mission Impossible 3 on June the 15th. And yes, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol on June the 22nd. All four movies star Tom Cruise in modern reboot, that is, of the classic 60s and 70s TV show. Visit crystalcity.org to get more information. So you have to watch Mission Impossible.
Can't beat Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a Tom Cruise fan. All right. Here we go. Well, the Arlington Farmers Market, AFM, is recruiting new volunteers. The market, which began in 1979, is among one of the oldest in the D.C. metro area. The AFM runs on Saturdays from 8 in the morning till about noon at the intersection of North Courthouse Road and North 14th Street. It's managed by Community Food Works, a nonprofit organization dedicated to increasing access to healthy local food for low-income communities. For more information on the Farmers Market, here's their number, 202-487-6493. Give them a call. Daniel.
Well, now off to our senior stories
Coming up.
for tonight. You can take a taxi and to senior centers with SCAT, which stands for Senior Center Adult Transportation. SCAT is Arlington's transportation service for all residents 55 years of age and older. Through SCAT, you can take pre-arranged taxi cabs to and from senior center locations for $2.50 each way. Give them a call at 703-892-8747 for an application. Craig.
All right, Daniel, also in our News for Seniors file, John Medellin Caporiccio, broker for McInerney Associates, for an exercise focusing on one's goals and purposes for the year. Vision boards are a collection of images and words that can be used as helpful reminders when motivation is not what it should be. All materials will be provided for this FREE free program coming up Thursday, June 4, from 1 to 2 in the afternoon at Walter Reed Senior Center. For more information and to register, give them a call. Their number, 703-228-0955. Daniel.
Well, Mr. Nolan, older adults recovering from injury or surgery and adults with physical disabilities will increase energy, flexibility, and a sense of well-being in this class. It addresses all major muscle groups and joints and adapts classic yoga poses in a safe and accessible manner. All work may be done seated with the option of using the chair as a balance point for the standing poses. The class includes chanting, eye exercises, breathing exercises, and a deep relaxation practice. It is offered in partnership with the Arlington Therapeutic Recreation Office. Shay Moore is the instructor. Classes are Thursdays from 5 to 6 p.m. at Langston Brown Senior Center. There is a fee. Just give them a call for more information. That's at 703-228-6300. Craig.
All right. And finally, for those of you computer-challenged folks, yours truly included, one-on-one computer and tablet instruction is available on Fridays from 9:30 till 11:30 in the morning at Lee Senior Center, located at 5722 Lee Highway. You can get help with email, internet access, Google searches, Microsoft Word, and more. But you must call to schedule an appointment. So if you need a little computer help, give them a call. Here's their number at Lee Senior Center, 703-228-0555. All right. And that's it for our News for Seniors. Thanks to Judy Masabny,
Thank
as
you,
always,
Judy.
of OSAP for helping us out and sending in these announcements. We appreciate it. And we'll be back with a little sign-off, if we have time, right after we hear from Shannon Augustus and her guest. Here's Shannon.
My name is Shannon Augustus, and I'm here with my good friend Mary-Suzette Dela Cruz of Bake to Serve. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, what is Bake to Serve, and how did you come up with the idea?
Bake to Serve is my side business, I guess you could say, and it started around 2013 when my family kind of pushed me to do it because I put two things together that I love. I love to bake. I've always been in the kitchen for as long as I could remember, but I also love helping people. So what I started doing was I would sell my baked goods and kind of use that to help out people who needed it for different reasons. There was no like set amount and there was no set, date. It was more of a when I felt that push to help someone out with it, that's what I would use it for.
That's cool. So what kind of baked goods do you make?
I make cookies, I make some cakes, but right now
I think
the
we
most
have some photos of
popular ones are actually
delicious
some
things you've had. Mhm.
cake truffles and some cake pops.
Oh, cool.
Those have been really popular lately.
Yeah, cake pops are popular. I feel like I see them all the time. What are cake pops exactly?
Cake pops are basically like balled up cake.
Uh-huh.
Like it literally is just a ball of cake on a stick. And cake
Portable.
Yes. and they're so easy to eat. And yeah, they're on the stick, and cake truffles are the same exact things, except they just don't have the sticks with them.
Okay, glad we know the difference between cake pops, cake truffles. Awesome. So who have you helped raise money for, and what were the causes for them to raise those funds?
Some of the people I've helped with were during the typhoon in the Philippines a couple years ago, Typhoon Haiyan. I was able to give them some money for Red Cross. I also bought some items to ship over to them over there, since I have family and friends over there. I've also donated to the Red Cross during the recent earthquake in Nepal. Right. And I have a friend who's actually trying to go to Costa Rica this summer for volunteer work. So I was able to help her with that also.
That's awesome.
Thank
And
you.
how does the process work? So do they call you, email you, and just say what they want to do? Like, how does that work?
I have a Facebook page actually, so they could go on it. It's facebook.com/bake to serve. They can message me on there, they can leave a comment. But I also have an email address, baketoserve@gmail.com, so they can send me a quick email on that also.
Cool. And so do they tell you, okay, I want cake pops and not cake truffles, or I want cookies, or?
As much details as they want, or as much details as they can give me would be great, as to like what colors they want, how many they want, what flavors, because they come in a variety of flavors also.
Awesome. And what are your future plans with Bake to Serve? I know you said it's kind of like a side kind of thing that you're doing, but any plans?
Right now it is just a side. Hopefully one day in the future have a bake shop, but that's still kind of far off in the future. I can't really think too much into it yet. Right now I love doing what I do because it's one of those, you know, because I have a full-time job, I could still take orders, and it's actually a way for me to de-stress myself because I love being in the kitchen. So it's kind of a win-win.
How do you find time to do that? I know that's what everyone's thinking. You work full-time. So how do you find time to do this?
I realize that when you love what you do, you actually make time for it. So I could be coming home from a long day at work knowing I have to have 300 cake pops to make. But I just absolutely love it, where even if I'm getting an hour or two of sleep, it's just so much worth it. And seeing the people's smiles in the face when they look at it, it's just priceless to me, and it just makes the whole, you know, long day worth it.
And now I'm just thinking, how do you make 300 cake pops in your kitchen at one time? How does that work?
It's a process.
Yeah, I bet.
So I have to take off work sometimes, you know, take a day off, and that's just all I do.
Yeah.
But it's totally worth it.
Cool. And so it's obviously something that you're passionate about. So what kind of advice can you give others who have something that they love to do, but they're not quite sure how to kind of put it into play as a hobby or a business? Or
I would say go for it. Sometimes you have to just take that first initial step and just jump into it. Because no matter what, you're going to have nerves, and you're going to think, you might think you're not good enough, or you're going to fail. I know one of my biggest thing is I'm afraid of failure. But I've been surrounded with so many like supportive friends and family, and that's another thing. You have to surround yourself with those types of people who will push you when you're feeling down to do that, because a lot of the times I feel like my friends and my family are the ones who believe in me more.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps me out.
yeah, that kind of keeps you going, I
Yes.
guess. Yeah, because I could see how it can get difficult or stressful when you have so much stuff to do and trying to find a way to do it. And so I know you were saying you were booked throughout the summer, but if someone wants to reach you, how will they get in touch with you to order some delicious cake pops or cake truffles? Or
They could go on my Facebook page, which I mentioned earlier. They could actually see a bunch of pictures on there. And it's not limited to the pictures they see, actually, because I've had a few times where people would show me a picture from, say, Google or Pinterest, and I could kind of tell them if it's something I can do. I am willing to try something new because I'm still learning, and it's kind of cool trying new things out like that.
Awesome, awesome. And so are there any other type of hobbies that you're interested in that you kind of do, or is it all cooking for now?
It's pretty much all cooking and baking especially. It's just, I've always done it for so long where I could have such a bad day at work and I'll just go in the kitchen, bake, like everything just kind of washes out through me, and then I'll bring it to work, and they're like, "What's this for?" I'm like, I was just mad, so I needed to think. I'm like, "You need to get mad more."
It's a good stress reliever.
It is. It's
Okay.
like my favorite thing to do.
My stress reliever is to eat. So if yours is to cook, then
I
we're
will make it for you. Yes, anytime.
That works out pretty well. And so one last question before we wrap up, but what can you give just basic cooking tips for someone who does not know how to bake, and that would be me? What is the one thing that you can tell someone to do?
Try it with a friend. Like,
Okay.
they don't even have to be good, but there's so many cooking classes out in town, or just get with someone. I know I Google recipes a lot too, but try it with a friend and just having fun, whether or not it came out the way you wanted to. You have that experience to remember by.
Awesome. I can always use my roommate as my test dummy, I guess.
Yes, that works too.
Awesome. Mary-Suzette, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for telling us about Bake to Serve. Like she said, it's her website. It's Bake to Serve.
Facebook.com, Bake to Serve, yes.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for tuning in to Arlington Weekly News. Thank you and have a great day.
Really close now. All right, thanks, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks,
Shannon
Shannon.
Augustus. We always appreciate
Shannon,
her,
Shannon.
her efforts and input. And that's about all we got. Anything else to add before
Yes,
we go?
we miss
Reminder?
you, Rich.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely,
We should say
Rich.
send good wishes and
Yeah.
thoughts out to our friend Rich Masabny, who's recuperating a little bit and hopefully on the mend, and we'll be back with us soon. So, Rich, we're thinking about you. And,
Yes.
But we
need
look
you
forward to this new
back here at the
project.
desk.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be awesome.
We'll see him on screen soon.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, and that's it.
That should do
I
it.
guess. It's time to say goodbye. Time to say goodbye.
Enjoy the weather.
Thanks to all of you for watching this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Next week, if you're there, we'll be here and we'll
Do it
all
again.
Take care. Have a safe week. Bye-bye.
So, how long are you?